Friday night in a gay disco in Rochester, a small town 40 miles southeast of London. This couple come here regularly. Jerry Edwards is dancing with his lover, Nigel. Both are husbands. This is Jerry Edwards' wife, Maggie. She is a social worker. She's been married for 5 years. Until 2 years ago, she had no idea Jerry was homosexual. Maggie was bitter when she found out, but now she's reconciled to her situation.
And he has told me, has been honest. We have had some very bad patches because of this, but people have bad patches because of other situations in marriage. I always knew that Jerry would give me the freedom to have what friendships and what interests and what relationships I wanted.
And you, Jerry? Are you bisexual or are you basically homosexual?
I think I'm basically homosexual. I mean, let me put it like this. I think if our relationship ended for some reason, I would find it impossible to form a sexual relationship with another female.
You are simply not attracted to women?
No.
Except?
No.
For Maggie? Do you sleep together? I mean, do you make love?
Yes.
Often?
Mm-hmm.
And when he's been out on the town?
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't change anything for you?
No. It's what I would object to, and it's only happened once, I think, would be the feeling that Jerry would get up from being in bed with me and go off to one of his boyfriends.
When the two husbands are not out together, Maggie encourages a foursome round her dinner table. She and Jerry, Nigel and his wife Eileen.
They had the electric shock treatment.
When you married Maggie, was it because you were trying to pass, in a sense, for heterosexual?
Maybe this was the girl I could deceive. Dreadful thing to say.
Yeah.
And yet I knew that maybe she would eventually accept it when I chose the right moment to tell her. And that is a dreadful thing to say, too.
Well, I agree, but I still don't know why you felt it necessary. You wanted to be one of the fellows? You wanted to be a regular man? You wanted to be normal? You wanted to be a married man?
Well, as I say, consciously I wasn't aware of that, but I think subconsciously, yes, that must be true.
You know, of course, Jerry, that the picture that is being painted is of a pretty selfish fellow.
That's right. It certainly seems I have been selfish, and I am, in a sense that I am homosexual. I have the best of both worlds in many ways.
The lady sitting to your right says that she's happily married.
Well, it's a big issue on which to be selfish, isn't it? But in most other, in his general personality, he's not a selfish person at all.
You're in love with him?
Yes, probably.
A happily married couple.
I think so.
Obviously, not all wives can bring themselves to share their husbands with other men, as Maggie Edwards does. Jenny and David Rees live in Exeter on the south coast of England. They married 11 years ago, and they have 2 sons, Stephen and Adam, aged 8 and 6. A family outing like this takes place now only when David pays his regular visits to the children. For the truth that he finally told Jenny about himself, after 9 years of marriage, led her to suffer a breakdown and to demand a separation. David Rees is 42, a college professor, a ballet enthusiast. For most of his marriage, he says, he tried to deny his homosexual nature. But he has now fully come to terms with it. He lives a mile away from his wife and children with his present lover, a 21-year-old student, Kim.
I'm homosexual. I'm not bisexual at all, and I don't think I ever was, and I don't think I ever thought that I was other than homosexual.
Jenny Rees teaches in a village primary school. She was just 18 when she met David. He was her first boyfriend. David, his doctor, and his parents all knew that he was homosexual. Everyone, it seemed, knew, except Jenny. David's parents told her afterwards they hoped that she would cure him.
It's a woodlouse. One woodlouse, lots of wood lice.
2 years ago, their comfortable family home was sold. and Jenny moved into a much smaller house alone with the children. David had argued there was no reason their marriage should not continue. He would stay at home and also have an apartment where he could meet his boyfriends.
It was absolute hell for quite a few months. In fact, I was suicidal. I always felt I was wanting more from David than he could ever give. There was no real joy in the lovemaking, no real sort of flow. There was always something missing.
You knew that you were a homosexual?
Yeah.
You didn't tell her?
No.
Isn't it a fraud?
Yes, I do see it as the ultimate in deception and fraud. I'm very destructive.
I don't know about that, but I mean in the sense that society has played a fraud upon me, hasn't it?
How do you mean?
Well, I'm a homosexual. Society constantly tells one all the time that it is wrong to be homosexual. And then since society is being awfully two-faced, if it says on one hand you can't be homosexual, on the other hand you're being a fraud if you get married.
Then you went ahead and had children?
Hmm.
Why?
Wanted them.
For the purpose of?
Well, the reason why anybody wants children. I mean, just because one's homosexual doesn't mean to say you have different feelings about having children from anybody else.
Stephen and Adam know their father lives with another man. Jenny feels they have suffered considerably. Adam, the younger boy, developed asthma attacks. Stephen threw tantrums, and she worries about their future.
I'm sure they would never be gay because I'm gay, because I'm sure it's not something you inherit.
Who are you to them? Uncle? Cousin? Friend?
I'm just Kim. I mean, I'm just a person. What lives with Dad? Or whatever.
Do you think that Jenny is jealous of you?
I don't know what Jenny thinks, quite frankly.
What do you think of Jenny?
I'm feeling very sorry for her these days. Not for what David's done to her, but for what she's doing to herself at the moment.
What's she doing to herself?
She's becoming a very bitter person.
I'm happier than can ever remember being during the whole time I was with David. Now, I have, there's no tension in the household now. There's lots more peace. In fact, the only time there is tension is when David comes, or when he takes the children out and they come back upset.
Jenny and David's separation is less clean-cut than if a husband had deserted his wife for another woman. David visits the children nearly every day. And according to Jenny, he uses her shoulder to weep on when things go wrong in his relationship with Kim. How will David end up?
I think David will end up rather a pathetic old queen. This constant desire to chase young boys, he's not going to stay young, and he's not going to be able to buy all he wants forever. And also finding that in fact he's lost his children, which I suspect is going to make him very lonely.
I think probably as homosexuality in the past 5-10 years has become something that is much more accepted and acceptable, and people can be open about it, and I can be open about mine in a way, then in fact the incidence of homosexual getting married is almost bound to decline.
For wives like Jenny Rees and Maggie Edwards, the worst of their experience has been in believing it was unique and unmentionable. They found help by corresponding with a woman who could reassure them they were not alone. Kathy Williams, a college professor, now divorced, was married to a homosexual for 13 years. Are there many of you, or is there just no way of knowing?
There's no way of knowing absolutely, but I think there are a lot of us. I used to think that there was nobody years ago. I thought I was the only one.
Kathy set up an organization called Sigma, a befriending operation for the straight partners of gays, to help wives adjust without feeling guilty or too negative toward the gay world.
Were the straight partners...
No one can say how many wives there are.
Hello, Windsor Gay Switchboard. Can I help you? Hello?
The gay organizations in Britain run a network of switchboards for homosexuals with problems. They estimate that 1 of every 3 calls they receive come from married gays, most of whom haven't yet dared to tell their wives.
Is it possible for a woman, do you think, to live with a man for 10 years and not know that he is a homosexual?
It's possible for a woman to live with a man for that length of time and not allow herself to know that he's homosexual.
Because she loves him, because it would be a confession of inadequacy, because
it would be a confession of inadequacy, and because acceptance of the knowledge is so uncomfortable and so dangerous.
Would these women rather compete with another woman for the affection of their husband rather than another man?
Oh, I think they'd rather compete with another woman. There's no way you can compete with another man.
Isn't it possible that in today's permissive climate we'll be seeing more of it? We hear about more bisexuality, we hear about open marriages.
And I just pray that we don't, because as far as I can see, it's quite impossible for a triangular relationship to work. Because if you go through one of these relationships, a possibility, I think, the chances of you being able to have the confidence or the chance or the opportunity to form a sort of good heterosexual relationship, the chances are very, very low. I don't want to see more people damaged.
A footnote. What about marriages between straight men and lesbian women? It is our understanding from people in the gay community in Britain that there is a good deal less of that. But we don't know for sure. There are no statistics.